Hi guys, today's video is just going to show you something I've put together, and I'll also put up wiring diagrams, etc., circuit diagrams, so you can build it yourself if you're so inclined. It's basically a temperature comparator. It uses a thyristor. What it does is it sort of reads ambient temperature, and then what it does is if there is a cold or a hot spot, it will indicate that by illuminating an LED. So if it goes hot above ambient, it will go to red. If it goes cold below ambient, then what it will do is it will light up a blue LED. It is pretty much a prototype, so it looks a bit rough and ready at the moment. The LEDs I've put are in these plastic tubes, and the idea is that it would diffuse the light and make it a lot easier to see. With sort of surface mount or LEDs that are fairly close to the case, for something like this I don't think they'd be visible enough. The thermistor's here, which was one of these tubes, and what I originally did was it was there and I drilled a series of holes around it, hoping that the airflow going through would detect it and it would work that way. It was just not sensitive enough that way. It also seemed to hold the heat, which I can understand now, because obviously it being a tube with a cap in there. The cold air, as it went through, went down because cold air sinks, and there was then no airflow. It took ages for it to dissipate. The same with the heat. So I've just chopped the top off at the moment, so it looks a little bit rough and ready, but as I say, it's a prototype. Right, basically all we've got, so we've got a plastic box, LEDs in that tube, LED in that tube, thermistor in there. We've got a red LED here, which tells us that there's power on, a pot, and an on-off switch. Back of the box, powered by a 9-volt battery, and the sort of box, obviously you can change the battery without having to take it all apart. What you do have to do is, if you're going into a building and you're going to use it, is to make sure that you leave it for at least 5 minutes before you switch it on, because if you could change temperature, it might have been in your car or whatever. So once you bring the equipment in, leave it for 5 minutes, so it at least sort of gets room to room temperature. Then basically all you need to do is switch it on, and you'll see automatically that the blue LED is illuminated. This pot here, all we're going to do is as we turn it, it will go from blue to red, and all we need to do is set it in the middle so that both LEDs are not illuminated. This power LED is a little bit on the bright side, to be honest. I need to add a higher rated resistor in there to dim it down a little bit. And then basically what will happen is, as it senses a hot spot, the red LED will come on, and then as it gets back to room temperature, the LED will go out. So if I just huff on it, for want of a better word, then you'll see the red light coming on. So that's the red LED illuminated. And you see it's diffused quite well in that tube, so obviously it helps with visibility. And then what will happen is it cools back down to ambient temperature. As it just has done, it goes back out. And what we'll do is, if I just open the window and subject it to a bit of a draft, then hopefully you'll see that blue, if we're going to get a draft. Yeah, they are. The blue LEDs kicked in to denote that obviously that there's cold air going over the sensor. And again, once it's passed and it gets back to ambient temperature, the blue light will go out, and it's on from there. There is a possibility to add sound to it. I haven't on this one, but it's very easy to do. Just put a buzzer on, so if you're not watching it, it will bleep at you or buzz at you just to tell you that you've had a variation in temperature. So that's pretty much it. What I will do now is I'll put up the circuit diagrams and the modifications I've made to the original circuit diagrams. Any questions, if you get stuck, you want to have a go at building one, give us a shout, and I'll do what I can to help you out. I suppose component wise, less than 10 quid including the box. Okay, so thanks very much.